Welcome into CBS Sports HQ. I'm Joe Musso. In just minutes, we'll have another long-awaited commitment come down as C.J. Williams will announce his official decision right here on HQ. Let's get to know the four-star out of a football factory, the man from Mater Dei.
C.J. Williams, four-star wide receiver from the #1 team in high school football, Mater Dei High School down in Santa Ana, California. Checks in as a top 100 player overall in the class of 2022 on 24/7 Sports Composite rankings. Has the perfect size and combination of speed and strength at the wide receiver position. He is going to be a big-time playmaker during the senior season for Mater Dei, and he's a type of wide receiver who I see making an impact as a true freshman. Recently, he dropped his top 5. It looks like Notre Dame is the team to beat here. He's also got USC in the mix, along with Texas, Stanford, and Alabama. An NFL comp I got for this dude is a guy currently balling in Southern California, the Los Angeles Chargers, Keenan Allen.
Williams is smooth. He has outstanding hands, the balance, the body control. He's tough. He blocks on the perimeter, and he's smart, and he's a winner. And he's made some big plays in some big-time high school football games over the course of his career. Which powerhouse will he play for next? Find out now on CBS Sports HQ.
It's going to be a big get for one brand name program. The 6'2" wideout has narrowed his decision, as you just heard, to Notre Dame, Ohio State, Texas, Alabama, USC, and Stanford. The 24/7 crystal ball has Williams leaning towards the Irish, but there's only one way to be sure. Taking a look at the numbers for this young man. He ranks 11th at the position, 7th in the state, 86th overall in the class of 2022. C.J. Williams set to make it official right now on HQ. All right, let's welcome in the man himself, joined now by four-star prospect C.J. Williams. C.J., first and foremost, a big congratulations from us here at CBS. Thank you for making your commitment right here on HQ. Before we get down to business, got to pick your brain a little bit. Give us an idea what this recruiting process has been like for you.
Yeah, for starters, I just want to say thank you for all of CBS HQ for having me on, and you also, Joe. You know, it's great to have the opportunity to just be on the show. For me, recruiting's been a long process. You know, I say it's long, but at the same time, I look back and it feels like I just got my first offer just yesterday. Every single time I think about it, it's a blessing, and it's something that I don't take for granted. And you know, there's those days that you don't want a coach to call you because you just want to relax, but those are all the stuff that you really take it in. You love it. I feel like just having all these people around me and having a great coaching staff, having a good family, a good foundation really made me ready for the recruiting process. You know, I never really got over my head in that, and I really felt like it was something that I just enjoyed, and you know, it was a great process.
Well, the highs and lows of it all, I'm sure the process has spanned a wide range of emotions. What are you feeling right now in this moment as you're about to make it official?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling very, very happy. You know, you guys can't see this, but I got a lot of people right behind the camera that care about me. I'm looking in their eyes, and you know, like my dad said prior to you guys going live, it takes a village, and everybody in here was part of that village. Everybody in here did something that made me who I am, the young man I am today, and I'm really thankful for that. And I'm excited. You know, one of these schools I'll be able to attend for the next 3 to 4 years, and it's going to be a good opportunity. I'm just looking forward to playing some high-level football at the next level.
Well, we know everybody in that room is excited to hear your decision. Plenty outside of that room as well. Some coaches and recruiting rooms waiting to hear you make it official. So let's do away with the nerves. Make it official right here on HQ. The floor is yours. Where are you going to be playing your college football?
Yeah, so before I even announce my commitment, I just want to pay my respects for, you know, a fellow Monarch that passed away last week. Anthony Brajas, you know, my prayers go out to him and his family. You know, I'm very, very close with the sister, so just to say that. Also, after saying that, I also want to pay respect to everybody in here. So, you know, I look in everybody's eyes, and everybody in here genuinely cares about me, and it's something that I don't take for granted, and I really realize, so thank you, everybody in here. I love every single one of you guys. All that being said, I will be taking my talents to the University of Notre Dame.
There it is. Wake up the echoes, paint it gold. C.J. Williams headed to South Bend to play some college football. C.J., congratulations. What about Coach Kelly's recruiting pitch made ND feel like the place for you?
I say this all the time, and I really feel like the culture there is really what set them apart. Like every single one of these schools, very, very great academic schools, very, very good football programs. But at the end of the day, only one school I can go to, right? I feel like the determining factor that kind of set Notre Dame apart was just the way that they kind of treat each other there, and the way that that they deviate from the rest. It's a faith-based school, and that really plays a role into my life. And I think that was something that was important in my recruiting. I wanted to be around like-minded people that made me a better person and would compete with me every day. And every single day, I was just looking back and I was like, these are guys that I want to invite to my wedding one day and all this stuff. So.
Well, knowing some people in that program closely, you're going to fit right in. A well-spoken young man who's heading to Notre Dame. I know there's a whole bunch of Golden Domers tuned in right now. CJ, you got the attention of the Irish faithful. Let them know what type of player, what type of person is headed to town.
Yeah, so the Irish is getting a very, very hard-working dude. Like, I will give you my all every time I step on that field for as long as I'm there. And even after that, I'm still going to represent you, in the best in the world as a person and as a young man. I feel like the Irish is just getting a competitor. At the end of the day, that's what I do, and I'm there to win football games, to get a good degree, and hopefully, make a lot of Irish happy while I'm there. So.
Well, you're joining a long line of talented wideouts to go through the program. CJ, again, a big congrats from all of us here at HQ. Enjoy your time with the Irish. Enjoy the time with the family. Soak it all in as it's now official. Heading to Notre Dame. Congratulations, pal.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it.
All right, so there it is. CJ making it official right here on HQ. And here's what it means for the class. Notre Dame, the number 3 recruiting class in the class of 2022. 14 4-stars now with the commitment of CJ Williams. Another big get for the Irish as they try and occupy the top spot, not just in the recruiting rankings, but in the entire country. For more on the commitment, let's welcome in our 24/7 team. Brandon Huffman, Greg Biggins joining us now. Gentlemen, welcome. CJ Williams making it official just moments ago here on HQ. He's going to be taking his talents to South Bend. Brandon, I'll go to you first here. Add some context to the commitment for us. How do you like this fit here with the Irish?
Well, it's a fantastic fit. Earlier this week, they got a commitment from Tobias Merriweather, who played with CJ on the 7-on-7 circuit, another top 100 player on 24/7 Sports, a top 12 receiver nationally. So now you take the long, lengthy speed of Tobias Merriweather and you take a big physical receiver of CJ Williams and you put those two together, and now you see why Notre Dame has continued to answer those questions that may have existed a few years ago about their offense. More importantly for the Irish, this commitment from CJ Williams pushes them to number 2 in the country, just ahead of Alabama, a few points behind Penn State, who's at the top of the list. But it shows you that the Irish continue to capitalize on the 2 playoff berths in the last 3 years to now have a class with 21 commitments, ranked number 2 nationally, ahead of Alabama. And the one thing that we've been saying for years, and people have been saying, when Notre Dame gets into the playoffs, they've got to have some offensive weapons to be able to score in those games and to put them into the national championship game. Getting Tobias Merriweather earlier this week and now CJ Williams today continues to answer those questions.
Yeah, kind of co-signing with what Huff said, and I'll go with a little different compliment we had. I know we said Keenan Allen, but I kind of like Juju Smith a little bit, and I think Huffman mentioned the word physicality. CJ is maniacal in his work ethic. As you listen to him kind of explain what they're getting, he's a 7-day-a-week weight room guy. He loves to work out. He loves to grind, and you watch him play stylistically. He's a 6'2" kid, not a burner, but runs well enough. But he's a physical kid, strong hands, very polished. You saw how polished he was in that interview. He's just as polished as a football player. He's just mature beyond his years, but the way he plays, the style he plays, he's a physical blocker. He makes physical catches, catches the ball well through contact. Body control is elite. 50-50 balls, red zone guy. I think, like, we mentioned before, I think he's an immediate impact guy. And then, like Cuff said, also a great compliment to Tobias, who's maybe more that long speed guy. And I think looking at CJ, he's probably more of that possession 3rd and 8 guy. You need a tough catch. That's CJ. He's the guy for that.
Most definitely a high character player, a high skilled player heading to South Bend. Greg, as you take a look at this class of 2022 for the Irish, we just saw it. 14 4-star recruits, a 0 next to that 5-star rank. What do you make of the class as a whole in 2022 for the Irish?
I love their class. And I think Brian Kelly made a comment, and you don't really hear a lot of head coaches say this because none of them, care about the recruiting rankings, right? That's tongue in cheek as I say that. But he said, hey, we want to have a top 5, top 4 recruiting class. I think they're definitely on the way right now. And it's not just loaded up at one position. It's different makers at all different spots. You see the DBs, You see that, the receivers with Tobias, CJ, they're always going to recruit line very, very well, right? Defensive lineman, offensive line, that's always going to be the staple. But CJ, a big thing that he told me was that, hey, we want to be more balanced. We're always going to be able to run the football, but we want to have maybe a similar passing game, what you said, Alabama, and be able to take the top off of defense, be able to stretch the field a little bit, be more multiple. And I think that's what sold CJ, and obviously I think that's the direction Notre Dame wants to go right now offensively.
We talked about it earlier in the week when Tobias Merriweather committed to the Irish that Brian Kelly has made a commitment to recruiting the West Coast, and never more so have West Coast kids been eager to leave as much as they've been in the last couple of years. And you look at Mater Dei, I mean, you look at quarterbacks that he's played with. He played with Bryce Young when he was a sophomore, and before Bryce Young, you had JT Daniels. Those guys are now quarterbacks at Alabama and Georgia. So you're seeing the national reach that schools have had going into California and realizing they've got a great opportunity to get those West Coast kids and to bring them to their SEC school or to their Midwest school, wherever it may be. And those kids are going to have a chance to flourish. They're going to have a chance to get drafted. And more importantly to these guys when they're in college, they're going to have a chance to play for a national championship. So you had CJ Williams, who had, I think, 11 of the 12 Pac-12 schools offer him. He had offers from all over the country, but he sees Notre Dame. And, when a lot of guys get recruited, they think I'm that one missing piece that school needs to get over the hump and to get into a national championship game and compete and win a national championship. And Notre Dame's defense has been salty the last few years, but offensively, when they've gotten into the playoffs, that's been their struggle, is to put points on the board. So you go get a Tobias Merriweather, you go get a guy like CJ Williams, and now it gives you the weapons to compete in the playoffs. The guys that can score on the big physical receivers, the big physical DBs that Clemson has, that LSU has had, that Notre Dame, or that Alabama has had, that Georgia has. You've got the offensive weapons now to put points on the board, and you have the defense that can hopefully stop those offenses so that Brian Kelly can get over the hump and get back to the national championship game for the first time in almost 10 years. They're on the brink of breaking through. And like Greg said, Brian Kelly said he wants top 5 classes. And these are the kind of classes, and more importantly, these are the kind of commits with players like CJ Williams that get you those top 5 classes, but more importantly, extend your season by a couple extra games because you're lasting longer in the playoffs.
Yeah, you mentioned it, that West Coast bias, well established, the pipeline from Mater Dei to USC. And when you look at it in that respect, a huge get here for the Irish. Gentlemen, we appreciate the insights as always, breaking it down with us here on HQ. And don't forget, there's only one place for all your recruiting news and notes. Join our friends at 24/7 Sports for all the latest. They break down everything across the recruiting landscape. There's only one place to be. It's with us at 24/7 Sports.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.